Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how are you?
Super. How are you?
Very good. I'm really excited. I've got a guest on the program later today, Barbara Morgan. Now, if that name doesn't sound familiar, let me tell you, it could have sounded really, really familiar. She was the backup teacher that almost went on the Space Shuttle Challenger.
There you go.
I'm challenging myself to speak today. But she didn't go. But when they were training Christa McAuliffe, they trained her as well in case Christa would have gotten sick. Anyway, we're going to be chatting with her. The 30th anniversary is coming up this week. Can you believe that?
Isn't that crazy?
Nat Geo has a great program they put together. We're going to be chatting a little bit about that, but it's on tonight at 9, 8 Central. Hey, this is really kind of neat, too. Have you ever played Candyland?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever wondered where it came from?
Not really.
Well, Eleanor Abbott from San Diego had polio back in the 1940s. While she was sick, she was trying to stay busy, and she created this little game called Candyland. Her young friends really, really liked it, so they submitted it to Milton Bradley Company, and it was immediately accepted and has ever since been one of the most popular children's games.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most popular children's first games.
Yeah, our kids loved that game. Both
We should
of them.
play Candyland tonight.
We still have it.
Oh, we should. All right, coming up here in a bit, we get some special things to celebrate. It's going to be a blast. We'll tell you all about it in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Today's Monday, the 25th day of January, but today is Bubble Wrap Day. Look what I have. Got some bubble wrap. They don't pop like they used to.
You know what? They've made bubble wrap that does not pop.
Well, that stinks. And then I got this one here. This is a bigger thing. That's not this. Yeah, and that's my kind of bubble wrap there. People are ducking out the window. They think we were shooting at them. Anyway, today is also a room of one's own day. A room of one's own day, so like your own room. It's Macintosh Computer Day, National Irish Coffee Day, Robert Burns Day, Opposite Day, and did I mention it's Bubble Wrap Day?
You did.
I saved one little pop. All right, that's what we have going on. A lot of special stuff. Get out and celebrate on this Monday, the 25th day of January.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. You ready for this, Heidi?
I am ready.
All right. The Chocolate Hotel. It's a perfect gift for an anniversary or honeymoon. The Chocolate Hotel, where lovers will have the time of their lives, staying in some of the new rooms of the hotel in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Oh, my gosh.
The hotel has a whirlpool, partly filled with Hershey's unsweetened chocolate cocoa powder and instant non-fat dry milk. So I don't know if that sounds, it kind of sounds gross. Guests can be coated in rich, dark mud mixes with cocoa essence in a room with burning chocolate scent candles for $265.
This sounds like heaven to me.
For $265, visitors can indulge in a 3-hour chocolate escape. You know what that is?
What?
A whipped cocoa bath, cocoa butter scrub, chocolate fondue wrap, and a choice of massage or facial. A single 25-minute cocoa bath, the most requested item, costs $45. You know why that's more requested? Because it's only $45. The other one's $265. I'm saying that's just kind of steep. Cocoa contains antioxidants like vitamin A and E, which increase blood circulation, and that cocoa butter moisturizer and stuff that soothes chapped skin. So there you go. You can either go and do that,
I'm going to go
or you could just rub yourself with a Hershey bar. That's what. This is in Hershey, Pennsylvania. We've never been.
We've not, but I will go. I will go.
We do. We need to go there. We just this weekend had a chance of a lifetime to go to the Spam Museum.
And the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
Yeah. Talk about a redneck vacation. We took a weekend to do that. So why wouldn't we take a weekend to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania? That sounds way more fun to me. Anyway, again, there's this new place
How's
called
next weekend sound?
The Chocolate Hotel. All right. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Stopping at a stop sign got a man arrested for drunk driving.
Okay.
Athens, Georgia is the place. Officers said they found a drunken 20-year-old University of Georgia man who tried to drive home after a party, passed out at a stop sign with his car still running.
Mm-hmm.
The
officer
officer found the woman at about 2 a.m., so it was a lady. I, for some reason, was thinking it was a man. She was asleep at the car with the car still in drive position.
Wow.
The officer put the car in park, turned off the engine. When the woman awoke a few minutes later, she told the police that she had been drinking at a house party earlier, and the woman, who they didn't identify, was charged with the DUI and underage drinking as well. So not only was she drinking and driving, she was also underage. So bad idea. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Have a designated driver. The life you save could be mine. I'm the designated driver all the time.
You are.
You're the designated drinker all the time. It's a good team.
It works well.
Works really well. Coming up, we've got your moment of duh. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
If you want to serve your country, that's a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
But don't be dumb about how you prove your patriotism. I have a story here of an 18-year-old from northern India. He wanted to prove to his peers that he was tough enough, if not smart enough, to join the army and fight Pakistan. So, to prove his point, he drove an entire box of 1-inch nails into his feet and hands.
Oh, my gosh.
Police called the action a noble desire to serve his country. We call it a moment of duh. So that's what he was trying to do. I'm tough enough. No, you're not.
All you have to do to prove that you want to serve your country is join up and serve your country.
Yeah, he's an 18-year-old boy. This was in India. They have different customs around the country. Maybe this is a custom. 1-inch nails nailed into his hands and his feet. Now he's probably not able to serve because he's
now he can't serve. He's ineligible.
Loaded down with nails in his hands and his feet. So there you go. That's not, I didn't make it up. That's a true story. Coming your way, we get a lot of other true stories for our Scoop of the Day. That's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your Scoop of the Day. Owners of a nearly 500,000 diesel VWs and Audis in the U.S. are eligible for $1,000 in gift cards.
What?
One $500 gift card can be used to purchase anything. The others can be used for repairs, new tires, towards the purchase of a new car. So there's a bunch of people that have diesel Volkswagens and Audis in the U.S. I don't know why, but they're eligible. I don't know if it's because they have a certain number of miles on them. I don't know what it is. But if you have a diesel VW or a diesel Audi, you might want to check and see if you get one of those.
I wonder why that is.
I have no clue. You'd think they'd put more in the story.
Well, you would think.
So I could tell you that no, that's not here.
We don't have either one, so we don't qualify anyway.
Hey, over the weekend in Washington, D.C., they had a really interesting event. The Washington, D.C. Snowball Fight Association had a giant Star Wars-themed snowball fight Saturday. On the event's page, organizers encouraged everyone to bring their best Star Wars costumes. So you could, if you were there, you could have seen Darth Vader pelt a snowball at, I don't know, Chewbacca? I have no clue. Somebody. Hey, the Fiat that was used to transport Pope Francis during his visit to Philadelphia, it's going to be auctioned off at the Philadelphia Auto Show on the 29th of January. When is that? What day of the week is that?
That is a Friday.
Friday. Oh, it's this Friday. Oh, dang it, I got to work, so I can't go by it. Not that I had the money.
Why would anybody want, I don't know. What difference does it make?
I think it'd be kind of cool.
Did he bless the vehicle
Probably.
or something?
I don't know. Hey, Tori Spelling is in trouble with American Express. She's being sued for extremely late payments. She's like $40-some thousand behind on payments. How awful would it be to be famous and be way behind like that? Because everybody's going to talk about that. I mean, we're probably behind on all kinds of stuff. At least it's not in the news. All right, new research by the Harvard School of Public Health says that eating bacon reduces the vitality of a man's sperm. So if you're trying to, procreate and have children, they're saying to cut back on bacon. And what I say is, well, we're not going to have any more kids.
Well, we know that anyway.
I know, but I'm just saying, I love bacon. According to new research, psychologists suggest that our brains find simple things beautiful. So they're saying that, the more complex something is, the less beautiful it is. So the more simple it is, the more beautiful it is. So that's why you're attracted to me. I'm a pretty simple guy.
You are a simple guy.
Very simple. Hey, a Nielsen poll has confirmed what many have already observed. The nation's teens are increasingly using texting as a major source of communication. But a communication expert feels that parents should be aware that this trend may have some hidden dangers. You know what?
It absolutely does.
Definitely does.
You try to talk to any youngster nowadays.
While it may not come to a big surprise, teens text more than any other age group. But what could be very disturbing is exactly how much they spend dinking around with those things, their little phones on their thumbs on their cell phones. Nielsen says American children under the age of 18 receive roughly 2,800 texts per month. That is about 93 per day. That's the average.
Yeah.
So that means some are getting way more than that.
I know here lately our daughter's been getting way more than that.
Yeah, she's some boy at school. I was like, wait a minute now.
Gosh. Yeah. And he's a junior.
She's a freshman. I was like,
we're not okay with that.
Why don't you invite him over? I'll be cleaning my gun tonight. Be a great night for him to come over.
But we've started taking her technology away at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah,
so we're like, you're done for the night. You don't need it anymore.
And I thought that was almost like we were locking her up or something.
Yeah.
Hey, could your kitchen at home pass a restaurant inspection? Research suggests at least 1 in 7 home kitchens would flunk if the health inspectors came and checked. Small study in Los Angeles County found 61% of home kitchens would get an A or B if they would put the rigors of through the rigors of a restaurant inspection. 14% would fail, not even getting a C. Like the kitchen is so unsanitary, you shouldn't be eating in that room. So that's a home kitchen.
Would pass.
I know ours would pass. Hey, time for a strange law. Montana law states it is illegal to have a sheep in the cab of your truck without a chaperone. Not exactly sure why, but there you go. You just put your own joke together on that one. That's in Montana, by the way. That's your strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. I've got a special guest joining us. Now, there are moments in our country's history that just burn into your mind that you'll never, ever forget. And I remember where I was when this event happened, and it was on January 28th, 1986. It was the day the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded, and it was a terrible tragedy. The world was watching. Something that you might not know, our guest today was just about on that Challenger. We've got a guest joining us today, Barbara Morgan. Barbara, first of all, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Now, you were also an elementary school teacher at the time, and were you training right alongside the other astronauts and the teacher that was on board?
Yes, I had the great honor of serving as our teacher in space, Christa McAuliffe's backup for the Challenger mission.
Now, how were you and Christa chosen for this awesome honor?
Well, there was a program that NASA had called the Teacher in Space program, and President Reagan and NASA put a call out to teachers all around the country to apply to serve as the teacher in space.
I was in elementary school at the time, so I remember we were in class watching as this happened. Now, where were you when this happened? Were you in your class teaching, or were you at NASA, or where were you when the launch actually happened?
Well, we were all down at Kennedy Space Center for the launch.
So you were right there, and it was a tragedy for us, and we didn't even get a chance to meet them. But for you, where you had an opportunity to train right alongside Christa McAuliffe and all of the other astronauts that were on board there, I'm sure that day is probably etched in your mind as well as it is in ours.
Yes, and I think that day is etched in, everybody's mind around the world. And this is the 30th anniversary. It seems just like yesterday. It's hard to imagine it's already been 30 years. But one of the things that I really appreciate about anniversaries is that every year is, even though these kinds of things when you're involved personally are things that are with you every single day of your life. But what I really appreciate about anniversaries is that it gives us opportunities to help our young people who weren't around at the time, learn more about these wonderful, wonderful people, and also about their families and the legacies that their families have carried on to continue the wonderful educational mission of the Challenger crew.
If you're looking for an opportunity to learn quite a bit, tonight there's an awesome program on National Geographic Channel, and it's premieres tonight, and I'm sure you'll be able to see it over the course of the next few weeks, but it's called Challenger Disaster, Lost Tapes. It premieres tonight at 9/8 Central on the National Geographic Channel. Were you involved in putting this together? Were you involved in the actual filming of this and telling the story?
No, I was not involved at all in this, and I've got to say that it is a very well done documentary. It's very respectfully done.
Again, our guest today is Barbara Morgan, and again, Barbara was an elementary school teacher at the same time, and she was the second in line, so you were the backup. Now, what would have had to have transpired for you to be the one there rather than Christa McAuliffe?
We had, in that program and in the other NASA payload specialist program that was going on at the time, the crew, those crew members had backups so that if for whatever reason the primary crew member could not have taken the mission, for example, getting sick or whatever, then we would have somebody in line ready to go.
And again, tonight is the premiere. National Geographic Channel marks the 30th anniversary of the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster with a really nice, and a lot of footage is stuff you've never seen before, rarely seen footage, and a really nice program called Challenger Disaster, Lost Tapes. It premieres tonight at 9/8 Central on National Geographic Channel. Our guest today has been Barbara Morgan. Barbara, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to chat with us. I know you've got a lot of interviews going on right now because of the, first of all, the anniversary, and also because of the special that's coming out tonight. But let's talk briefly here. You were an elementary school teacher at the time. Are you still teaching, or are you done teaching, or what are you doing these days?
Well, I taught for many, many more years after that. I had for many years, mostly at the elementary level and then at the university level. And I have very, very recently retired from Boise State University.
All right. And where did you teach? Which part of the country were you in?
Up in the mountains of Idaho and in Boise, Idaho.
Very nice.
And education is very, very important to me, which is one of the reasons I hope people will be able to watch this well-done documentary tonight. And I'm very happy to still be very, very involved in education. And I just wanted to also share that one of the wonderful legacies of the Challenger mission, and you'll fall in love if you do not know the crew at all. You will fall in love with them in this, in the documentary. And one of the wonderful legacies is that families of our Challenger crewmates got together after the accident and put together a wonderful educational living legacy for our dear ones. And it's called the Challenger Center for Space Science Education. They are all over the country, and also in many, many, many states, and also around the world. We've got some Challenger Learning Centers. And in those Challenger Learning Centers, young people or young students, middle school age mostly, and can be a little older, a little younger, get to experience the joy and wonder of space exploration on their own missions of discovery.
That is awesome. That is such a cool thing. And what a great tribute and a wonderful thing for people to come away remembering as well. So that's really neat that they did that.
It's fantastic.
And thank you so much for taking the time. Like I said, I know you've got a lot of interviews to get to, so I won't take a whole lot more of your time. But thank you, Barbara, for taking the time to chat with us today on the John and Heidi Show.
Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it. And I'm grateful to National Geo for doing a very respectful and nice job on this documentary. And it's a great opportunity to see some real video put together, edited very, very well. And then I'm also excited for people to learn more about our Challenger centers as well.
Very cool. Again, Barbara Morgan, our guest today, and she was the teacher that was the backup in case Christa McAuliffe would have gotten sick. She would have been the teacher on board. Again, we're marking the 30th anniversary of the Challenger disaster, and if you get a chance, National Geographic has a wonderful program to commemorate that, and you'll be able to learn quite a bit of stuff. It's called Challenger Disaster Lost Tapes, and that is airing tonight at 9/8 Central on National Geographic Channel. It looks like a fascinating program. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by carsforsale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at carsforsale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You would have to yell 8 years and 7 months and 6 days in order to produce enough sound energy to heat a cup of coffee. I like my coffee a little on the cool side, so you could probably do it in 4 years. They say 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In Australia, a rugby player discovered what's been causing headaches for the past several months. Back in April, he bumped his head with an opponent, and the opponent's tooth broke off into his skull.
Oh.
So he's had a guy's tooth stuck in his skull since April.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, that'd do it. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
An environmental pressure group claims that American babies are born polluted, with traces of chemical pollutant already in their bodies. So you're polluted since birth, kids.
Chemical pollutant?
I don't know.
What?
So whatever mom's doing, the chemicals that are in the things that mom's using, they're passed on to babies. So the baby is born with chemicals in their system.
Huh.
All right, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
This is fun fact number 783, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to number these now. Graham crackers were invented by an evangelical minister who believed the grains were the key to repressing people's sex drives.
Oh.
So graham crackers were supposed to make it so you wouldn't be interested in anything after, the dessert. So
I like graham crackers.
And I don't think that's what they do, because quite often, you have
sitting by a romantic fire making yourself some s'mores.
And you're like, hey, want s'mores? All right. Coming up, we've got Buzzkill in the news. We'll tell you what's going on in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, when I say the words buzzkill, what do you think of?
Somebody likes to ruin a good thing.
Well, that's not quite what this means. You ever wonder why you're feeling so wired? It's probably the caffeine. Caffeine content in sodas is just widely varying. A few brands include that number on their label. A report from the Journal of Food Science, the study there, says if you're trying to stay below that recommended limit of 300 milligrams of caffeine a day, here are the octane levels of your favorites.
Okay, now hold on. Before you go down this lame list again.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with buzzkill?
Because you get a buzz from the caffeine, and these are the ones right here. I'm going to tell you which ones have the least amount of caffeine, so that's going to be the kill to your buzz. It's a stretch.
Nice try.
Yeah. This is from Women's Health Magazine. How am I supposed to know what the heck they're talking about? Anyway, there's a daily recommended limit of 300 milligrams of caffeine. One tall Starbucks coffee has 280 milligrams, just one. So you could have one of those a day. Now, this surprises me. This, again, is the amount of caffeine. A Red Bull has only 80 milligrams of caffeine. So Starbucks Tall has 280. So now we get down to Vault Zero. Never even heard of it. 74 milligrams. Pepsi One, 57. Mountain Dew, 55. Diet Coke, 46. Dr. Pepper, 43. Celestial Seasoning Morning Thunder Black Tea, 40 milligrams. Pepsi, 39. Diet Pepsi, 37. And Coke, 34 milligrams. That's the amount of caffeine per beverage that we just went through. And again, this list is from Women's Health. So when you are tired, Heidi, what helps wake you up? Is it coffee? Is it, just taking a big old drink of water? What is it that helps wake you up?
Well, for me, coffee doesn't wake me up. I can drink coffee right before bed, and
it
won't keep me up.
That is kind of weird.
But just getting up and moving around wakes me up.
So the activity, the motion.
Yeah, I just have to move.
There you go. Well, they're saying if you want to stay below that 300 milligrams, one cup of coffee from Starbucks is just barely under the limit.
But have you seen how big those talls are? I mean, I order a small, and
I don't
more
do
than
those.
enough for me.
When I get confused, I go in, I'm like, I'd like a large coffee, and they're like, did you say Large? We don't have large. They
Yeah,
have all these
they have
different names.
venti.
I'm like, I don't know what I want.
Venti and tall and...
Just give me a coffee.
Yeah.
What kind of coffee? I'm like, coffee. Black coffee? Well, what kind of black coffee? I'm like, I'm going to just go somewhere else. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the price of education. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Interesting story here. A school principal was attacked recently because he wouldn't let the students cheat. Yeah. And I thought schools were going downhill in the United States. You know, you hear all kinds of stories about things around here. Well, this was in India, and a college principal suffered major burns from gasoline bombs that were recently thrown at him because he refused to let students cheat on their exam. He was also attacked with hockey sticks, knives, and guns.
Oh.
The fact that he survived is an absolute miracle. The trouble began when school authorities confiscated books and notes from 18 students that were going in to do an exam at the college campus. All the students then boycotted the exam, and some hours later, a mob of angry students attacked the professor. 2 students have been arrested, and the college was closed for an indefinite period. So they're saying, hey, we don't know when we're going to reopen because you guys tried to kill the principal. That's bad. Don't do that.
Bad.
So there you go. When next time you hear about something here because of a budget cut or this or that, say, hey, you know what? At least they're not trying to kill the principal. We got that going for us. All right, we got a true story coming your way, maybe, in just a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
I don't know if this is true. According to a study, many women don't go to coffee shops because they're shabbily treated when they get there. Is that true? When you go to a coffee shop, do you get looked down upon?
Well, sometimes it depends on which one you go to. There's one in particular where we live where you walk in and they're all snooty and horrible and they think they're better than everybody. And it's like, really? You're wearing an apron behind a counter. Don't look at me like that.
Well, the conclusion of American economist Caitlin Knowles-Meyer, don't know who she is, but she, with her students as research assistants, staked out 8 coffee shops in the Boston area, and they watched how long it took for men to be served and women to be served. Her conclusion, men get their coffee 20 seconds earlier than women do.
20 seconds?
20 whole
really?
seconds. I thought we wanted equality in this country. I'm going to give anybody, you can have my coffee. I'll take yours 20 seconds later because I want it to cool down anyway. So there you go. 20-second difference. I wonder why that is. That is just the weirdest thing. I wonder if it had anything to do with what they ordered. Because if guys come in and say, let's take some coffee, black coffee, boom, done.
It's a little faster.
They're saying, I like it with skim milk, not too hot, not too cold, this much sugar. Not, it's going to take longer. So I don't think that study, that's why I'm saying, I just don't know how true that is. Anyway.
I thought that we were talking about attitude.
No,
but...
well, that too, I suppose. Thanks for opening that can. Coming up, we're going to talk about texting again. That is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Is your teen over texting? We talked a little bit about this earlier. We got a little more information here now. In case you didn't get the message, texting is the new talking, Heidi.
Okay.
The average teen sends and receives about 3,300 text messages a month. Now, in the last story, I think it was less than that.
Yeah.
That's over 100 messages a day. Before, they were saying that it was 93 messages a day. So get your stuff together, people. Anyway, 7 times more than we did just 2007. No conclusive data on the health effects yet, but some psychologists worry that over-texting could cause a variety of anxiety and sleeping problems. There's a doctor, Sherry Turkle, Ph.D., professor and director of the Initiative on Technology at the Self at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That's a lot of...
I've actually witnessed this with our daughter.
Yeah.
Like, she'll be trying to fall asleep. She'll be laying there. She'll be almost asleep, and then there's a tiny little ding on her phone, and she's wide awake again and has to check her phone to see who it was that tried to reach out to her.
Yeah.
It's sad.
For me, I could care less. I'm like, if it's time to sleep, I'm out. So anyway, this lady says, here are some things to do. We talked about it earlier, but here are things to do if you have children that you're concerned about. They're saying, number one, establish text-free zones.
Yeah.
Kids often open up at the dinner table or in the car or wherever they are while they're watching TV with you, whatever. So you can set boundaries and say, you don't bring the device to dinner. You just don't. Put it away. But Mom and Dad, you have to do it too.
Yes, we have that rule.
Mm-hmm. Next one, let phones rest at night. Many kids will text until 4 or 5 a.m.
And we've started making her charge her phone downstairs in the kitchen.
Require
so
your child to charge their phone somewhere other than their bedroom, like the kitchen. So good job, Heidi. Hey, high five.
Yeah.
We're awesome parents. And next, be a role model. Textaholics say their parents are always on their mobile phones, so that's why they are too. Unplug your kids' phones, but then follow suit and do it yourself as well. So there you go. A little bit of advice from a professional, and we're just reading it. It's from Good Housekeeping, but I thought that was good advice. Again, this info is a little different than the stuff we read earlier, but it's still a whole lot of texting going on. Hey, we got some really good news coming your way, good stories to share. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
We always try to wrap things up with some good news here, Heidi, and I got a good story. Take a listen to this. Love is blind, right?
Yes.
Not for much longer. According to Yahoo News, a Minnesota man who lost his eyesight to a degenerative retinal disease, he got to see his wife of nearly 50 years for the first time in a decade thanks to a bionic eye. Alan Zedred was not able to see the details or the facial features and so on, but upon getting the new technology, Alan said, just being able to acknowledge my family's presence, not only by sound but also the image, that gets me pretty excited. So it's really neat. I've got the video and all the info at our Facebook page. And we got another one on here that I'm going to tell you about, too.
Had he been blind from the moment he met his wife?
No, he had a disease that he's been blind for the last decade.
Oh.
So they've been married for 50 years, so he knew what she looked like.
So he already knew. So it's not like as soon as he was like, can you drive me to my lawyer?
You really let yourself go, Mildred? No, that's not. I don't remember your hair looking like that. No, that's not. It's a really neat thing. And there's another video that's really neat, too. And I won't tell you the whole details on this, but I'm going to share it, and you can check it out on our Facebook page if you want to. But there's a YouTube prankster that's always pranking people. His name is Dawson. I don't know who he is. Kids know who he is, whatever. Big Dawes TV. Anyway, he tried. Does that even sound like something I would watch?
No.
Not at all. He conducted a social experiment dressing like a homeless person and tried to get money from people. Now, this guy's got money. He doesn't need money. So when people stopped and gave him money, he gave their money back and then gave them an extra 20 as well. And it's really neat because some of the people who helped him out were homeless people.
Oh, so I think maybe I have watched those.
It's a neat little video. So you can check that out at our Facebook page. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Our Facebook, by the way, is facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. I absolutely love my razors. I really do.
I know you
I
do.
use them a lot, and every day I shave. This morning I didn't, actually, so I got a little bit of stubble.
Going on.
And I probably should have because now I'm feeling conscious about it. But what is it?
Subconscious.
Self-conscious.
Self-conscious. Neither one of us knows what we're talking about.
Is it
it's
a Monday?
Thing this is the bonus break.
Can we take a nap now? We done? Anyway, if you get a chance, check out why I like them. The website, dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Neat video, fun stuff. Hey, a new study shows people's bodies react to the same foods in a very different way. The study adds to a growing body of research that suggests that people would be better able to achieve weight loss if their diet was tailored to them rather than just going, oh, it worked for Susan, so it's going to work for me. According to Time magazine, I'm assuming, it just says Time. In the new study, a team of Israeli researchers found that a blood sugar level varied widely among people after they ate the exact same thing, and the levels were highly variable, even when the researchers had them eat the exact same meal. So, more than just one thing. They're like, you're going to eat the same amount of this and this and this and this, and they saw their blood sugar levels fly all over the place.
Well, of course. Everybody's body is different.
And they're saying your diet should be different, too, based on that.
Yeah.
Southern Japanese town of 1,700 people is on target to produce zero waste, Heidi. According to a documentary produced by Seeker Network, the town adopted a mandatory sanitation program in 2003. As part of the program, all residents now wash and clean and sort their trash into 34 categories. The intensive process has ensured that 80% of all waste gets recycled, reused, or composted. Is that how you say it? Composted. Yeah, not composted. That sounds funny. And 20% is actually sent to the landfill. But by 2020, this town, Kamakasatu, plans... I don't know. They plan on having absolutely nothing to send to landfills. They're going to completely be 100% zero waste.
That's
town.
Awesome. If it's possible.
Just trying to figure out how you're going to do that.
Right.
You know, dig a hole in your backyard and jam that stuff in it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Don't know anybody that does
awesome.
that kind of thing, do you?
If it's possible, go get them. That's fantastic.
I'm laughing because when we were fixing our patio, I had a bunch of blocks that I didn't know what to do with, and I had a hole I had to fill. I'm like, I throw the blocks in the hole. Heidi's like, someday someone's going to be digging this backyard and be like, what in the world? What are these blocks doing in here? Sorry, future resident of my home. Hey, got a list for you here because I know you love these things. The U.S. Department of Transportation is warning consumers who plan on attending the Super Bowl that some tour packages may not be as complete as you'd like to believe. In fact, many don't even include a ticket to the game.
Ooh.
Here are some signs.
That would make you mad, wouldn't it?
You're doing a Super Bowl, this giant tour that you bought, and you find out you don't even get to go to the game.
Wow.
Here are some signs that your Super Bowl trip might be a ripoff. I wish I had a drum roll because I'd use it right now. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not that any of these are necessarily the number one, but we'll start at number 5. Number 5, your executive seats are on the 60-yard line. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work. Number 4, the whole thing, airfare and everything included, $50. Yeah, it's probably not.
Yeah, well.
Another sign your Super Bowl package may be a scam. On the cover of the fancy brochure, the game is being called the greatest event in professional bowling history. Yeah, it's probably not the
Super Bowl. That's
Super Bowl.
That's a different game.
A different game. And number 2 on the list, the hotel accommodations are for 4 days and 2 nights. How do you do that?
Yeah.
And the final sign, the number one way you can tell your Super Bowl trip is probably a ripoff. Your tickets for the game read Supper Bowl. Yeah, Supper Bowl. I don't think you're going to the right place. Although it sounds delicious.
It really does.
It's going to do it for our silly little bonus break. Brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. I don't know what I'm saying.
You're saying razors and radio in the same.
Try that. dollarshaveclub.com/radio.